everybody. Welcome to Decode REI. My name is Mina Ricky.
And I am Lidiya Korzhuk.
Today, we're going to talk about a very hot topic. We call it walkability.
Have you guys heard the word walkability?
It comes out in the news. It comes out in the zoning meetings, the commissioners. It comes out everywhere with investors, with new properties, with new development, with new tendencies, trends, shifts on society.
Mina, I heard location, but walkability? I never heard of walkability until I hit maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and especially in multifamily.
Yeah, I guess people are going to start saying walkability, walkability, walkability instead of location, location, location.
Correct.
Would you please read us what walkability is, Lidiya?
So, walkability is a term of planning concept best understood by the mixed use of amenities in high density neighborhoods where people can access set amenities by foot. It is based on the idea that urban space should be more than just transport corridors designed for maximum vehicle throughout.
Instead, it should be relatively complete, livable spaces that serve as a variety of users, and transportation modes and reduce the need for cars and travel.
So no more cars, people. The term walkability was primarily invented in 1960 due to Jane Jacobs' revolution in urban studies.
And you actually were reading a little bit about her, right?
Yes, I was. She's a very interesting woman.
She didn't have a degree, so people will mock her because she didn't have a degree. But then people started to understand what she was talking about, and it just resonated with people.
Correct. In recent years, walkability has become popular based of the health, economic, and environmental benefits.
It is an essential concept of sustainable urban design. Factors influencing walkability include the presence of or absence and quality of footpaths, sidewalks, or other pedestrian right-of-way, traffic and road conditions, land use patterns, building accessibility and safety, among others.
So that's walkability in a nutshell for you guys.
So basically, there is a book called Big Shifts Ahead, and it talks about how society trends, living trends, or even just cultural trends will impact what kind of buildings, what kind of housing, what kind of businesses are we building for the future.
Yeah, those trends, as you can see, continuously shifting, and everybody talks about different things. So one of the benefits of walkability is health, socioeconomics, environmental. So people would rather walk than drive. So now many people are asking, how does it impact multifamily, Mina? What do you think?
It has everything to do with multifamily because in multifamily, you have a relatively small area. You can put a building in 2, 3, 5 acres of land. So if you were only going to have a zoning, and let me just talk here for just a minute. Listen up. In multifamily, you are allowed to put several, even hundreds of little houses in a small area. If the zoning is one house per acre, then 5 acres only gives you 5 houses. So we're talking about services. Walkability is about health services staying in your community. Well, if you can have more houses, even if they are smaller, it doesn't matter. It depends on the product. But even if they are smaller, you can have more density, more houses, more people enjoying and giving business to those local stores and local providers of services, then that is part of walkability.
Totally agree with you. So it sounds like multifamily is going to be more like a mixed use type of a business because you need to bring in restaurants, you need to bring in stores, you need to bring in hospitals, you need to bring in everything else. So developers, listen up. It's going to be an opportunity not to just build multifamily. If you're building something, you need to have a mixed use build up.
Yeah, that's the trend. I do land acquisition as well. And I listen to a lot of commissioner meetings, and people do come up to the commissioner meetings and they ask for these things. They say, we live in this neighborhood, and if we want to grab a cone of ice cream, we have to drive to a different neighborhood. Why aren't we encouraging with incentives to have businesses here? And security, safety is one of the big reasons. So walkability will also penetrate that sector of safety, because when you walk and you're the only person walking on the street, it can be pretty dangerous, I will say. But when you have 100 people, 200 people walking on the same street, then people watch over each other. It's not as easy, I will say.
Totally agree with you.
Most other countries have a very walkable life. But in the US, we started, there was plenty of land to develop back in the day, and I'm talking about hundreds of years ago. So we started creating coding for building with plenty of space. We have a minimum of frontage, a minimum on the back, and a minimum between houses. We have the zonings are to preserve as well some of the greeneries, some of the those areas that we want to continue to preserve and continue to take care of and keep them as natural as possible. We don't want to just build everywhere. But this is the challenge that I see. So this walkability has becoming a very hot topic. You're going to tell us about the Google searches and all of that. But how, I mean, it's a very big challenge for the cities and the counties to be able to provide housing for all these people that want to create these kind of communities, because we already have zoning in place. We also have buildings in place. And to change that is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, that's the major problem. That's why there is a website for multifamily writing. There is a blog and there is for MHN. And MHN in January 2023 wrote this article on walkability that caught my attention. And I'm like, what is that all about? I mean, I heard about it, but I never did it. And then I started researching more. And did you know that people actually start researching after COVID parks near me, walking parks near me, trails near me? So each time, when people thinking to move somewhere, they're going to see how far is it from, walking distance or biking distance from the stores, from all the parks, dog parks, and all the other stuff. So one of the guys that MHN interviewed was Lindbergh. And he talked about that everything about it changes from your site acquisition to your financing, to your construction types, to your marketing, to your management, regarding walkability and how trends and building trends will change this market and this space.
It's all about the customers are the ones that vote with their dollars. Those dollars are going to be telling the developers, this is what we want. And then the developers are going to be telling the city councils and all of that, this is what your people want. Will you allow us to build it for them?
So basically, Mina, what you just touched is supply and demand chain. So the demand is there for walkability, and the builders will follow with supplies. And I think it's not just the builders. I think it's the multifamily buyers, investors who will buy these properties. They will look into that and give them. So one of the biggest thing that I was impressed is the Publix model. Publix has an amazing model for people, and Publix is a brand of groceries here in Florida, and I believe in some southern states. They want to be within 15 minutes away from all the people that live around. So I think that 15 minutes drive, I think now it turns into maybe 15 minutes walk. It's not even drive anymore. So the closer you are, the better. I think it's the key to everything would be in the future. So all of you investors who are looking to purchase properties, Think about the walkability, how far it is from everything that people walk into parks, to dog trails, to stores, to cafe shops, to everything. That should be on top of your mind besides being, location.
Well, Lydia, location can be like a walkable location, right? That can be one of the definitions of location. What's a good location? Well, a good location is a place where it's very walkable.
Yes. So actually there is a walk score. There's a website called Walk Score that you can check, what's the walkability stuff. And I believe there is also another website that talks about streets, something about streets walking. That's another. We'll post those things in our links so you guys can check it out. That will give you better idea. Oh, and of course, I would definitely check out the street traffic. So there is a nonprofit organization that created a street walking website for everybody to check out. And we're definitely going to include that in the link below so you can check it out. And one of the top cities that I've seen the future of it is Tampa. And listening to Mina, hearing all the county, developers talk about the walkability and, utilizing the city to be friendly is, I think in the future that that city will definitely explode.
Anyways, if you have any comments on walkability or any other things you'd like us to talk about, my email is mina@decoderei.com.
And mine is Lidiya at decoderei.com.
And until the next one, thank you for your attention. Thank you for your time. And we wish you the best.
Yes, thank you for your time. Wish you the best. See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.